We had an order once from a fair trade company in the US, and they wanted 2,000 scarves from this one artist. And it, had a decent amount of time, but I literally sat down with him and worked out his production backwards, because literally when I told him about it, his reply, I thought he'd be happy. He goes, "Takutla," like he was scared, and I was like, okay, we can do this together. And then the funny part of the story, he was 2 weeks early.
My name is Frida Liu. I wrote my book In Your Skin about people being comfortable with who they are and what they do, defining success on their own terms. I'll be featuring some of my personal heroes in the social enterprise scene right here in Malaysia, heroes who have defined success on their own terms. Social enterprises isn't only setting the stage for shared prosperity, but also helping in meeting some of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. This is Amy Cox-Blair of the Batik Boutique, whose humble business addresses 4 of these sustainable goals: no poverty, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, and reduced inequalities. Her story began in 2009. So how did this Texan end up here in Malaysia?
So I'm originally from Texas and grew up there. I had a degree in communication and tourism and had an opportunity to come to Penang. My husband and I were newly married, no kids, in our 20s, and why wouldn't you come live on an amazing island? And then as soon as I got here and started realizing and experiencing more of the people and the culture, I just fell in love with Malaysia and with the people of Malaysia.
It officially became a business in 2014, and look at it now. But there's a lot more behind what we see here as well. The idea of turning into a business, why did you do that?
It was actually my husband who challenged me on that. He saw that every night I was staying up till crazy hours, tying ribbons and setting up at these pop-ups and bazaars, and women coming to my house at 10 p.m. to drop off 3 scarves that they sewed. And as he engaged with me to begin to understand, what's my heart behind this? What am I really trying to accomplish? He helped me really verbalize that. So I decided, in the most inconvenient time of life, with young children living in a foreign culture, I would start a social enterprise to try to help these women living in marginalized communities. Yeah, these are some of our new products that are.
And it's very interesting. So you've got sort of different uses of batik, and people need to see that there's so many ways that you can work around batik as well.
So this one we do for corporates a lot too, but it's a great idea for someone trying to be a bit more eco-sustainable. I know not everyone wants to wear it. It's not everyone's style, right, per se, or they don't know how to wear it even. But there's lots of ways you can incorporate it. We've done bags, homewares, travel, accessories.
It's great. I see the end product, but this is again sort of coming, getting around to doing this. How long does that take?
Well, I think that's the part that is hard as a brand and then retail. Customers come in and they're like, "Oh, that's nice, but do you have another color?" And for us, we're like, that's a fair question, right?
Yes.
You can ask that question, but we're like, oh my goodness,
do
you know how long it took to make that one, the 3 colors we already have? It's not even that we have 1, we have 3, do you know that one piece of batik already came back the wrong color and we had to redo it? Do you know that, it literally involved 10 people in this process to make? And I think what's important is we do handcrafted products that use hands, if that makes sense. So it's about the people behind it, and we would refer to them as artisans as well. Irregardless of your race, your religion, your gender, I want to create opportunity for people who don't have opportunity. So whether that's giving them a voice or a platform. Batik is a very labor-intensive project, and so a lot of the men will do the waxing part of the process, and then often the mothers or the daughters of the family will come behind and do the painting. Just in creating the fabric alone already employed about 5 people. Then sometimes sewing it would also give an opportunity to 5 other people. So I'm wearing a shirt that 10 people actually participated in creating, and they were paid fair wages for it, and they were given skills training and opportunity for it. That's what to me is so powerful about this, is that, what impact did the shirt of the guy walking in the street create for anyone? Often we don't even know if they got paid fair, right? And I can walk knowing this shirt provided income for 10 people.
So how can corporations and individuals come in to support social enterprises? How can governments come in other than tax benefits?
Yeah, I think we still need to have an official recognition to register as a social enterprise. We have accreditation with them that we are recognized by the government as a social enterprise, but still you either have to register as a Sendirian Berhad or as an NGO. We're registered as a Sendirian Berhad, so there's no benefit I pay the same amount of taxes and company expenses as every business on this block, but I'm using my profits much differently. So I think there's still a long way to go here of how we can have official registration, and therefore what would come from that.
You know, I've been covering stories in social enterprises for the longest time, and I love this whole idea that businesses are sustainable. It's not just about profit, it's about people and also the planet. And of course, what you're doing right now, who knew that it'd be covering 4 of the SDG goals, the Sustainable Development Goals. When you started out, right, did you think that you were going to make such a huge impact?
Well, when I first started Batik Boutique, I actually didn't know I was running a social enterprise. So it's not that I thought, oh, I got education about social enterprise and now I see a need and I want to create a business model around it. I was actually running the company for a couple of years when I got in contact with Magic and with Malaysians here who were formulating these ideas, theories, concepts, and it just resonated with me and made sense. So I was already doing my business or charity or whatever thing at the time you wanted to call it, but the concept of social enterprise put structure around it for me to help me think further and longer term and to be more sustainable. To me, social entrepreneurship is a perfect way to merge business and profit, because at the end of the day, if you don't have business is numbers. If you don't have the numbers to add up, you cannot help anybody. We're all in Malaysia still growing and understanding this concept of social enterprise. We do it differently. There's different models. Ours is called inclusive business, which means basically your beneficiaries become part of your supply chain. So there's many ways we can do it. There's not one way. But the important part is still there is a business aspect, and you're very intentional about either how you make your products or who it benefits. To me, that's the basis of it with that. And I think we don't need to get so caught up in the terminology per se as just it's just thinking that we can do business and do good at the same time. It's possible to do both.
Amy Cox-Blair of the Batik Boutique is started with faith like a mustard seed over 10 years ago and now empowering and impacting the lives of many. Follow me for more stories in social enterprises.